Welcome to the Prince Makai channel.
Yeah. When all the smoke like a vape pen. Hold on, brother, chase him. Say my name, I pop up like the boogeyman. Fucking the game over, dropping bangers with no hits.
Man, we're going to take it back to 2020. Okay, we're going to take it back to COVID, shutdown. Just to give you a little bit of background, in 2020, I had to return back to Connecticut because I had moved to the DMV in 2019. I had to come back. I came back in February and I applied to a job there. I was staying with my grandma and I was going to get a job. I was going to help her out with the bills and stuff like that. And my cousin lives with her, so it was going to be the three of us. And then the COVID shutdown happened literally right before I was scheduled to work. I ended up just falling into a deep depression, staying at my grandma's house all day until my best friends at the time, they're twin sisters, let's call them Mary and Jane. They would get me out the house and they used to come and pick me up and we would ride around and, just chill. And this is a story about the time that Mary and Jane almost got all three of us arrested because Mary went sick.
You are so sick!
That her sister Jane wanted to have some alone time with her boyfriend and didn't want to do everything, because they pretty much do everything like attached to the hip.
Oh no, but we're twins, so I can talk to her.
Siamese twins, though. You're not attached at the hip, babe.
Wanted to have a moment with her boyfriend, and Mary wasn't having that.
I'm not having it.
Jane wanted to spend time with her boyfriend alone, and Mary didn't trust the boyfriend. She didn't really know the boyfriend or the guy Jane was talking to, so she said absolutely not. She pulled a Ayanla. She said, "Not on my watch."
Not on my watch. Not on my watch.
Which is very toxic because just because you're a twin or just because you are siblings doesn't mean you have to do everything together. I mean, they did everything together. I mean, everybody knows me coming up in, in Connecticut, in my hometown, that it was always the three of us, but I was always in the middle. We were very, very close. We were close friends and best friends for 10 years. So I've seen everything and I've seen how they just do everything together. And it became toxic at one point, but this is an example of how sometimes you, even if you're a twin, you absolutely need alone time and just be an individual separate from each other. You know what I'm saying? So it was 420 at the time. Their mom was letting them, I guess, stay in the house for the day. She was out. She told them, invite whoever you want, as long as you guys don't tear up the house and shit like that. Soon as that happened, they called me. Makai, get up. We coming to get you. We're gonna get some drinks and we're gonna chill at the house. Our mom said we can have the free crib, and I was like, okay, bet. Mind you, I wasn't a drinker at the time, so I didn't really drink. I wasn't into that. So we were chilling, listening to music and stuff, and all of a sudden, Jane's boyfriend at the time, or the guy she was talking to, hit her up and was like, hey, I want to see you. My mom says that, I can have someone over. It just has to be one person because of COVID. It was in the heart of COVID shutdown. This was in April 420, so obviously. And so Jane was like, okay, so Jane told us. When Jane told us, Mary was like, okay, well, we're all going to come then. We're all going to, hang out. Let's do this. We're bored anyways. And, we were just bored in there drinking. And Jane was like, no, he kind of just wants it to just be me by myself. Mary was like, no, you're not. You're going to tell him that we're on your way. So she didn't know the man like that. And I was like, bro, at first I was with it because at the time I was my grandma was staying in a town about 30 minutes from my hometown. I hated living there. So I was down to go anywhere that would be outside of the town that she was staying in. Mary and Jane still lived in my hometown, Danbury, and that's where the boyfriend was at. So I was excited to go back home. I was going to hit up some people, see who wants to chill, shit like that. So first I was like, I'm down, let's do this. So then I was like, you know what, Mary, let's just go down there and we'll drop Jane off. And then you and I will link up with my friends and stuff, people that I know down there. And we will all chill. Mary wasn't having it. She was like, absolutely not. I am not going to let her go with this guy that I don't even know.
Wait, no, you come here for once. Don't stay away from me.
Mind you, very toxic. Your sister is a grown-ass woman. They were a month away from their 21st birthday. She'll be okay. Mind you, they're already drunk, a little bit drunk. And so, Mary, and from my opinion, Mary kind of bullied Jane into saying, okay, you guys can come.
No, not normally. I've never seen Kyle be a bully before. I've never seen her
bully you.
Now, then Mary told her, well, just don't tell the guy. Let's say the guy's name is Chris. Don't tell Chris that we're coming. And I'm like, are you out of your mind? He's going to be totally pissed off. He said her and her only. But, she said, don't tell him. So Jane didn't tell. So we got in the car and we ended up going down to Danbury. And mind you, they're already drunk. I've been in the car with them so many times when they were drunk. I against my common sense, I shouldn't have. But we've never gotten into an accident. We almost did one time. But, even though they would be drunk, we would never... The times that they used to crash the whip or whatever the case may be, I was never around. So whenever I was in there, I think they knew I didn't play that shit. So they were more conscious when they were driving. The whole time down there, they're drunk. They're swerving a little bit on the highway. And on the back of my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, universe, please let me get to this town alive. So when we get to Danbury, Jane was normally the driver. Jane is fucking driving damn near on the sidewalk on people's yards. I said, oh my fucking God. So when we get to the house, his house, you should have seen the look on his face. Chris's face was like walking up to the car like, what the fuck? Like, I just told this bitch that he got in the car. We all said hi, you know, and stuff like that. And Chris was like, yeah, I want to go to the liquor store. And so we went to the liquor store because it was a couple streets down from his house. I was sitting in the car and Chris was like, you know, no offense to you guys, but I did, you know, my mom did say that I can only have one person. I thought that Jane was going to come. And Mary was like, it's okay. Well, let's just drive around then and chill at a park or something like that. And Mary was like, no, like we want our alone time. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to spend time with him. Mind you, Chris is a white guy. He's not the typical, you know, guy that, Jane would go for. He's not the kind of guy that Jane would go for. They like black guys. So, you know, the fact that she's opening up her mind and stuff like that, I'm like, okay, this could be something. This is cute. So I said, we're not going to ruin these people's private time. Like, we're not going to be cop blockers. I said, Mary, what you and I are going to do, I'm going to drop them back over at the house. We're going to drive around. I'm going to text some people, see if they want to chill. And we're going to leave these two lovebirds to themselves. Like, you guys are sisters. You guys are not literally conjoined. Like, you guys can do things separate. She has her phone on. You can call her anytime, check up on her every time. Like, she's a grown-ass woman. So Mary starts making a scene. No, we're gonna, you know, we're all gonna chill and that's it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go to my house and I'm gonna come back out. I think she wanted to change clothes and stuff because I think she spilled liquor on herself. Yeah. She wanted to change clothes. And so I'm texting Mary and I'm like, I got a plan. Like, what we're gonna do is when she goes inside the house, I'm gonna go in there with her because she's gonna want me to go in there with her. And when we go inside, as soon as we go inside, you and Chris take off. She was like, bet. Had I known that what I just did would have caused what I'm about to tell you, I would have never done it. I promise you.
It was your idea. Is that right?
It was part of my idea, but I consulted the team.
No, but it was your idea.
But I felt bad. Like, everything that they do is together. Like, Chris just wanted to spend time with Jane, not Mary, like, or me or anybody else. Like, we're not about to cop block and do that weird shit. I'm not gonna be a third wheel to anybody's date any fucking way. So we end up going there. I guess she texts Chris because he's sitting right next to her. She texts Chris, you know, the plan and stuff like that. And he's like looking back at me like, and I'm like, bet. So when we get to the house, right, Mary starts to get out the car. She says, come on, Makai, come with me. So I go in there and I go with her. I'm sitting in the hallway on the steps because they were on the second floor. And as soon as we go inside, Chris and Jane take off. Mary comes back out like 5 minutes later. She looks out the window. What the I just fucking told them. She starts going sick. Makai, what the fuck? They fucking left us. And me, you know, trying to act like I don't know what's going on. I'm acting clueless. What? They left? What the fuck? She was like, I'm gonna kill this bitch, bro. I'm gonna kill her. Call them right now. Call them right now. Because her phone was dead. So I'm faking like I'm calling her, but I'm not really calling her. I'm just texting her and I'm saying like, yo, like, she's like freaking out right now. Like, Mary is freaking out. But Jane wasn't responding. So Mary starts going sick. Mind you, their aunt, who was elderly at the time, they were staying with, and you know, she had to hear all of this, and she starts going the fuck off. She's screaming at me, call her right fucking now. I told her I'm gonna kill this bitch. I told her that we were gonna fucking go out together. And so I kept acting like it, but she kept getting more agitated. She just started screaming and hollering. I'm like, we have neighbors. Like, please, you're in an apartment building. A couple minutes later, she's still screaming and hollering. I'm trying to get her to calm down. Her aunt comes out the door. She comes through the door and she says, get out of here. Like, go, like, leave before I call the police. Mary's like, I don't give a fuck. Call the police. And they start going at it. All of a sudden, Mary just starts getting even more and more enraged. And I'm like, oh my fucking God. So I really just start texting Jane like excessively, like, Jane, just come back. Like, she's freaking the fuck out. She literally just punched the window because she was so mad, broke through the window. It was glass, the window in the hallway. Like, please come right now. She texts me, she says she's on her way. So the remaining of the 10 minutes, at that time, between the time that they left and they came back, it was only like 20 minutes. Like, only 20 minutes. And it takes probably about like 10 minutes to get to his house. So at the time, they were only probably at the house for 10 minutes before they had to come back. So, or matter of fact, less than that. So it was like, wow. Like, I'm like, how toxic? Like,
she has toxic tendencies.
You can't let it doesn't matter if you don't know him like that. She's a grown-ass woman. Like,
She's a grown-ass woman.
why are you cop blocking your sister? And they're screaming, going off in this apartment building. Your aunt just threatened to call the police. So what happened was Jane ended up coming back, but she ended up coming in, not Chris. So she was like, what happened? What's going on? She was like, I fucking told you, I'm not fucking playing. She just started crying. Like, Mary just started crying, and Jane's trying to hold her and console her, but she was going off on her too. Like, I told you not to fucking go in there. And so as this is happening, all of a sudden I hear sirens. One of the neighbors had actually called the police. So I said, oh, fuck no, I'm taking off. So when I hear sirens, I book it. And I run. As I'm running, I peep Chris, like walking. And I say, yo. So I run to Chris. He's walking across the street because I guess he has a friend that lives across the street in the other complex. And he was like, yo, just nice meeting you, bro. But just tell your cousin to just hit me up when her sister's not around.
Damn!
I was like, okay. So that all happened. It was a very quick exchange. And then as soon as the police started to come through the complex, I ended up running around the corner and going to another apartment building and staying in there. I stayed there for like 15 minutes because by the time that I ran into the other building, and then by the time I left the building to go back and see what was going on, it was already nighttime. So it was already like sunset by the time that the argument was happening. But then, when the time I came back, it was nighttime already. So I ended up going back there, and the police, because they've been there so many times, the same police officers, they pretty much gave Mary a slap on the wrist and pretty much just told us to leave the premises, what I'm saying. So their mother came and picked us up, and they did have Mary in the car. Jane was talking to them. I'm talking to them. I'm like, please, officer, like, don't arrest her. She's just, it was a misunderstanding. And they were like, we're not going to arrest her. They pretty much told me, like, with their faces and their expressions, that they've been through this before with them. So I was just like, okay. But I was also very concerned because they asked us, how did we get here? And we all lied and said that we were dropped off here, because if they find out that, or if we tell them that we drove here and clearly they're intoxicated, we're all getting locked up for drunk driving. So, and I don't even think that the car wasn't registered. So, and we were, they were drunk. So it was like, we really would have got locked up.
So I really got frightened.
The mom came to come get us. The mom was talking to the cop. She knows them.
Ooh, is that Shade Phaedra?
We got let off, and on our way back to the town with my grandma and their mom stays at, I went the fuck off on fucking Mary. I'm like, this is fucking ridiculous. And Jane wasn't really saying nothing. She was quiet. At the time, Mary was sobering up a little bit, so she was laughing. She thought the shit was funny. And I'm like, there's nothing funny about that. And I was going off on her. We were going back and forth, and Mary and Jane's mom was like, please, y'all, don't go off in this car. This is not my car. I'm driving somebody else's car. If anything happens, just don't, I'm not gonna fight them. You know what I'm saying? But but that's just about, that's the time that we almost got arrested. It was 420, the most wild 420 day in my life. I literally forget about 420, to be honest with you, because I don't smoke weed. So I don't smoke anything. So, and I've never got high before in my life. So that was crazy. 2020, during the COVID shutdown, we were still wearing our mask. I mean, what an era, what a time. I do miss them though. And I do miss those times, even the crazy wild times. It got so toxic and unhealthy, in my life, I had to cut them off. But I hope they're doing well. I hope they're doing great. But I will never forget that time. That's actually one of my favorite moments in my life. Just one of my favorite times. But this is the Prince Makai channel. Thanks